All right, and we are live. Welcome everybody to the Kings and Things panel of DragCon. I mean, not DragCon. I'm already messing up. Stream Queens Con
Oh,
2,
wow.
everybody. You didn't hear anything. All right, enough of that. Yes, we're here to talk all things Drag Kings, all drag mask, and here to discuss it with me are my wonderful panelists that you see around me. All right, so I'm gonna go clockwise, starting with me down in the bottom center, and we're going to introduce ourselves. We're gonna talk about your name, your pronouns, where people can find you, and what do you do. So I'll start. My name is Prince Harming. I am a Twitch streamer here on twitch.tv, proud member of Team Stream Queens. I go by he, him pronouns in drag, but I also go by they, them outside of drag. Um, you can find me at my Twitch channel, Prince_Harming, and I primarily stream games. I do a lot of horror, do a lot of DBD, all that fun stuff. So you can find me right here on the internet. And next, I'll throw it over to Krem. Krem, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I am Krem Inakuchi. I am out of drag right now. You can pronounce my name any way you want. It's Krem if you fancy, Cream if you nasty. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at KREMEINAKUCHI.
Awesome. And I'll throw it to Les next. Hi, Les.
Hi. So I'm Lesbiana. I am a Latinx drag artist here on Twitch. Let's see, what else? What do? I play a lot of different games. DVD, latest craze is Fortnite, Animal Crossing, all kinds of stuff. You can find me on pretty much any social platform, Twitter, Instagram, and like I said, on here on Twitch. And I go by they, them.
Well, Les, you look like a hot mesh tonight. All right, Joy, it's your turn.
Hi everyone, I'm Joystick, Twitch's resident drag monarch, is both a king and a queen, radiating Thembo energy wherever I go. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me on my socials at TikTok and Twitter at Joystick, that's stick with a QUE, twitch.tv/joy_stick, and Instagram at the Joystick, because someone took just Joystick, which is, they're just rude. I play a wide variety of games. I play a lot of Resident Evil, Dead by Daylight, Pokemon, you name it. I will probably play it at some point.
Wonderful. Up next, Mr. Julian Chaotic.
Hi, my name is Julian Chaotic. I am a trans man drag king. I have the same name and pronouns in and out of drag. My social media is all Mr. Julian Chaotic, I believe. When I do stream, it's mostly focusing on the makeup, but other than that, I perform in person where I live. So,
Wonderful. Oh, sorry. Did you have anything else to add? Sorry. Sorry, were you finished? I thought you were about to say something else.
I'm done.
Okay, sorry about that. And last but not least, Mick Yeager.
Hey, I'm Mick Yeager. I'm a Polynesian drag king here in Utah. I mainly perform here at the local scene, but I also do like playing games. I don't have a Twitch channel yet, but maybe soon.
Not yet. I like that answer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So I again want to thank you all for being here. It's not often you see a whole group of kings together, and I'm glad to see it. And for the audience, we will be collecting questions for a Q&A at the end if we have time. But we're just gonna get on. Like the first thing everybody wants to talk about when you get anybody with this amount of makeup on your face together, and I want to talk about makeup and inspiration. Now, I feel like looking at all of us and looking at our socials and everything, we all get our inspirations from very different places. I can personally say I get most of my inspirations from watching reruns of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, watching The Lost Boys over and over again, and by staring at Dave Navarro's eyebrows, which I wholesale just stole. What other inspirations do y'all have?
I personally like take all of my inspiration from anime and also from my dad because he has like this angry, menacing look. He doesn't mean to like have that, but I just took that, and I'm like, that's part of me.
Mhm. I love that. Who else? Where do you look for inspiration for your drag?
A couple of
Oh, go ahead.
couple of my big inspirations as far as other artists, I look at Andrew Jin's face a lot. And I have a background in traditional art, so I use a lot of like actual painting techniques on my face. So
I'm Kira Skiro. And Mick, you were about to say something as well?
Oh, yes. So I get a lot of inspiration just from my own culture because I'm Polynesian and Chinese and white. That's my dad. But I I get a lot of inspiration from like Taika Waititi and like Jason Momoa, and like I just love that. That's who I want to be.
I love that. Anyone else? Joy Les?
I guess I'll go.
Go ahead. Jump in
I'll
there.
go. I'm not really sure where I get my inspiration from. I just kind of had like this vision of more masculine drag, and that's kind of where where it's been. My whole thing is like very, as you can see, kind of like shirtless, kind of. I do like a lot of wearing a lot of like harnesses. So I have like different harnesses that I would wear. So yeah.
I have a lot of inspiration, so it just depends on what I feel that day. I take a lot of inspirations from like K-pop, Land Insider. Let's see. I also use a lot of like punk and like grungy looks as well. I love like 80s hair bands too, and I just love looking like a slut.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, like the person that like mixes all these together is this K-pop idol named Wonho. I will bring it up. I will find a way.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I will. Like he is just a combination of all those things, and he is like a himbo. So I love that, and I want to emulate that as much as I can.
I was wondering how long it was going to take before we got Wonho into the conversation, and it wasn't long.
What do you mean?
Oh my god!
I don't know what you're talking about.
Get that out of here. But that brings me into the next point, which is, how did you learn? Because, you know, traditionally, like, I mean, I'm not really active in any like IRL drag spaces, but part of the reason is because I don't really know anyone else that does this. So it's a lot of, for me, it's a lot of self-taught. It was taking what I was already doing with makeup and pushing it further into a drag space and like figuring out my face on my own using online tutorials, like looking at other drag kings that I knew online. But how did y'all come about learning how to put your face together?
For me, I was a makeup artist for many years, but I've never worn makeup myself. So as soon as I turned the brush on myself, like I looked ugly as fuck, like just like everyone else starting, because like it's a totally different thing doing it on yourself. But I kept copying things that I've seen online, things I've seen other people do. And as soon as I was comfortable with being able to replicate that on myself, then I was able to find my own style.
Show off your drag a little bit. I know you got your t-shirt on.
Oh, like this is just like a cartoon version of me.
I mean, it still looks like you in drag.
Looks great.
Yeah.
Wear that merch.
Plug.
Yes, get that plug. Anyone else? How did you learn? Where'd you get your start? Like, where'd you get your start painting your face?
So my drag mother was just like, hey, I was like, hey, I want to be your drag kid. And they're like, great, well, go figure it out yourself. I'm not going to put you in drag. I'm like, okay. And yeah, just a lot of YouTube drag tutorials, just following lots of drag kings on Instagram and just like picking what I liked. And then just knowing like my own face and bone structure and just kind of going with it, you know. This is how I learned.
I have a traditional art background, so and I like to draw like I like to draw people. So in my spare time, I draw like basically like all these like quote unquote muscular the traditional like the default like the golden standard type of face. So I would just draw inspiration from that, and then when I started to play, and it's basically like a lot of like trial and error. So like at first I didn't like how I looked, and then I just kept developing and developing and just like seeing what worked, what didn't, and just improve from there.
I guess I can go.
Go ahead.
How did I get started? I was volunteering for this organization, and it was kind of like we had like theme days throughout. It was sort of this organization had this week-long camp where basically girls or like teenagers who were more like feminine or female presenting would they were school-age kids, and um, pretty much they would learn an instrument that they've never learned before, and they only had that 1 week to form a band with other people and like come up with a band name and a band song. And so each day in the camp, we had like themes and stuff like that. And so the last day or something like that was pretty much just dressing up as like the opposite gender or doing some kind of makeup look. And I did that. I was like, oh, well, this is actually fun. This is actually interesting to like change like your face, and like it's just so dramatic how someone's face can change with makeup. And from there, like I just like kept doing it and kept doing it. And like through Twitch, I would like practice, and sometimes I would just be up at like 3 a.m. just doing a random face. And that's pretty much where I got how I started.
I guess I was originally a tween, and I did tween makeup for about 4 years, but I was at home, I got into tween makeup once, and I felt like I was one of them, but I didn't understand why. But this was at a time where drag was basically cis men in tween makeup. It took me a while to realize I thought I was one of them because I came out as a trans man, and I switched over to being a king a couple of years ago. I just keep trying different features I see on other people. It's like, yeah, this works, this doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Oddly enough, for me, I like with my drag makeup, the more I leaned into the things I didn't like about myself or my features, like I usually like dark circles under my eyes, and I used to hate it, and I try to cover it up with like regular femme makeup, like on my day to day. But when I leaned into it on my drag king makeup, everyone's like, "Wow, it's great." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." Like, so oddly enough, it's helped me like overcome lots of my like body issues, which has been great.
Yeah, I was once called, well, I say once, it's been multiple times now, but I've been called a sexy Rob Zombie, and I've never fully recovered from it, but I see it. And I don't know if I think it's a compliment, and I'm going to take it as a compliment.
Sexy is always a compliment.
I was like, I just stopped at sexy. There we go. Okay, some of those points bring me to the next sort of general talking point that I had, which was I wanted to talk about the I've noticed in my time a wide gender diversity in the drag king like community, because a lot of people will tend to think on the surface that people who are doing drag is like a cis person performing what they consider to be the opposite gender of themselves, when in reality, I know especially in the drag king community, I see a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of cis women, there are a lot of non-binary people, and like I just think that there's a wonderful mix of gender identities within the drag king circle. So I guess the question is, what what part about being a drag king brought you to being a drag king specifically, as opposed to doing another form of drag or being a drag queen, or like what about drag king spoke to you? Because obviously we don't do it because it's a fast track to like fame and attention.
Oh, it's not. For me, because I am non-binary, gender fluid. Like Julian, started off as a queen. Like I've been a queen for a while, and then realizing that if I could push forward that feminine side, I could also show people that masculine side that also lives inside of me. And yeah, that's why I do it.
Yeah, I'd say what you said earlier rings true. A lot of non-binary, gender fluid, transmasc, like the tomboy to like transmasc pipeline is real. So drag just like helped me embrace those parts of myself, and like kind of just reclaim that like masculine. Like I don't want to be a man sometimes, like, but I do want to like embrace those mask traits. It's weird, right? So doing drag as a drag king and as a transmasc person, I feel like it allows me to be the most myself in a public space, and usually in a safe public space or online, or if I do perform in person. Like I feel like it's great. I can just be myself. As more as like creating a different character in drag. I don't know. It just is very freeing, I would say.
I would say when I was starting out, I was very much still of the opinion of I didn't hold anyone else to this standard, but for me, I was like, oh, but I was AMAB. Am I, I always loved drag, but I never had any interest in being a drag queen. And so then to myself, I was just like, oh, well, then you just can't do drag, I guess. And then it wasn't until my drag mother, Be a Bombshell, shout out, I was sitting out and just hanging out with her, and she was just like, "Why don't you just be a drag king, stupid?" And I was like, "I can do that?" She's like, "Yeah, you're basically already doing it already," because I was already having like the prototype of this face going on every time I was streaming, and I was like, "Oh." As soon as like somebody else gave me permission, I guess I was like, "Yeah, I guess I can just do this." So it was just more about like somebody opened the gate for me, and I was like, I just ran straight inside.
What was the question again?
Oh, the question was what brought you to doing drag king as opposed to another form of drag? Like, what about being a drag king appealed to you?
Like Julian and Krim, I started out as a queen at first, and then I wanted to and then I felt like I was starting to plateau a little bit, like skills wise and like content wise. So I saw like being a drag king as a way to like challenge myself, because I like challenging myself, especially with like new makeup techniques, just doing different types of content and like learning like new things to do, like especially with my drag. So I felt like being a drag king would add to that, would help me learn a little bit more and just like expand that skill set. Also, I want to make fun of like cis men, so
That
That part.
I like embracing the masculine qualities, but also just making fun of them too. That's part of the fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think for me, it's definitely I definitely resonate with Mick. Like I do identify as non-binary, and so drag has kind of helped me to kind of go deeper into that side, not that side, but like more masculinity type of things. And like for me, it's just like not so much a character, as they said, but it's more of like I don't know. It's hard to explain, but um, just makes me feel more comfortable and like yeah.
I think for me, the best part for me of being a drag king is I feel like I can paint myself and present myself the way that I I feel myself to be. I can make other people see me as I feel that I actually am. It's like even out of drag, I don't pass most of the time. I'm just starting to, but before I was even able to be out and I was living with my parents, I would, do online performances as a king, and I could make people gender me correctly and use the right name, whether they wanted to or not.
Oh yeah, I think my favorite thing too is like when I do have like performances in person. I love like cis men. Like usually they're like straight dudes, like really just freak out. Like they're like, "What? Like how come your beard looks better than mine?" I'm like, "Cause like yeah." I don't know. Maybe because I don't know. I have great makeup skills. Like,
You put more
but
effort
yeah,
into
I do
yours
look
than
better
they
than you.
do.
You're right.
I know how to treat myself. Like,
Right. And they're just like, I just like seeing people's expressions, like, whoa, like wild. Like, are you sure you're not a dude? I'm like, I actually am a dude. And then it's just great. I love like mind fucking, like gender bend, mind fuck. It's great.
No, I wanted to talk about the drag king community in general because as like comparing it to the queen community, which is another, large drag community, it's a little bit smaller. It's a little more it's a little more out of the way. People are just now starting to learn that drag kings even exist in the first place. So, my experience has been completely online. My entire drag career, I guess you could say, it's been almost a year now, um, has been completely online and through Twitch and through social media. And that's the only reason I've been able to meet other drag kings at all, because I don't even think there's another one in my area. So, I don't know, how has your experience been with the drag king community? Because I've found it hard to find each other sometimes. As opposed to a queen where, you can go to any bar and there's always at least one or two hanging out.
hmm Well, in Toronto, there's very few that are active. We have a strip of like many bars that are on the same street, and I'm generally the only one performing there, like frequently. It feels like I'm alone sometimes, but a lot of the kings that I've met during the pandemic are online, and it's always been like so loving. That's where I feel my love is online.
Same. Like I usually my only exposure to drag kings is like online, so I can see like I can just easily just like go online, look up drag kings, and see like take some inspiration, like admire their work. Um, but for like in real life, like I haven't really seen a lot of drag kings like here in the Bay Area. The only one that I know of like um that I've actually interacted with is Tito Soto, runner up of Alaska's Drag Queen of the Year from last year. So um yeah, that's like I feel like there's more out there. I feel like I need to just go out there more because like the Bay Area is huge. Like there's lots of metropolitan areas, and I feel like um, I just need to go out more and just like look for drag kings specifically, when the pandemic is over, which I don't think it's going to be over anytime soon, unfortunately. Omicron. But yeah, like I feel like I need to, yeah, just like I feel like I have a better experience online than in real life, but I do get a couple of like comments here and there. Still, like as I'm king presenting, still call me queen, and I'm like, really, really, really?
Same.
I feel that. I
Yeah.
got they them'd in a thing. I was like, come on, you can see I'm a man.
Yeah.
People are
I feel
coming. Oh, go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh no, sorry. I feel like during quarantine, because I had started drag kinging like a little bit before pandemic hit and like shut down. And so during quarantine, I feel like online it really flourished and I like made a lot of friends online. And then as things opened back up, I was just like, I'm just gonna go take up spaces in these public spaces. Like that's the only way I can like, get in here. And it's been great. My local community's really embraced me and it's been really awesome. But I know not everyone has that. So I can't imagine what it'd be like without that local community. Or else I'd just be a hermit and I'd just never go and do anything and just not put makeup on at all. So
In my scene or the Washington D.C. area, when I first started, I did meet quite a few kings, but our city has been kind of overran with like queens and like very kind of white queens in particular. And so it has been kind of a little hard for not only myself, but like some of my other king friends to kind of have a specific place to perform. And so we've kind of found, spots here and there, but it was still pretty hard to like expose people to kings and let people know that we're here. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Ricky Rose. They're from DC as well. And that's pretty much probably the most representation maybe from DC or DMV area. And I did do a little bit of like IRL things. But then once I discovered Twitch and Stream Queens, like that really like inspired me a lot to go out there and like show that there are kings who do exist, especially in the digital era and outside.
In my scene, I'm based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's not a terrible place to do drag that isn't just the mainstream, but I can probably name every king in my area on both of my hands.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I'm in a show, I do a lot of open stages. I am almost always the only king in the lineup. There was one time there were 3 of us and we about lost it. But
As I was saying, getting all 6 of us here in one group call, I just feel like the most kings I've seen in one place in a while. Yeah, how are y'all feeling about the future for drag kings? Because I feel like we've picked up speed a lot recently in the last year especially. Like there's finally some more coverage getting out there. And of course, like, there's Land Insider being on Dragula, there's Tenderoni being on Alaska's Drag Race. Like finally we're getting some kings out in the forefront in some very like highly visible places. Have y'all noticed increased interest in drag kings personally?
Oh yeah. Like I'm seeing some baby kings popping up. I'm so excited. There's Hercules going on Call Me Mother, which is
yes.
freaking exciting. Like Hercules drag is like top notch, and I'm so happy people are like getting exposed to that and seeing these baby kings try it out.
Yeah, I would say in my community, so we have like a local like bar that like we're residents at. And so one of the queens, who is also Polynesian, they came up to me like last week. They're like, I'm actually going to try to do a drag king look, and I'm really scared. And I was like, I fully support you. And it looked great. It turned out amazing. And so I think a lot of people, even queens that have been doing queen stuff for a long time, are like starting to like kind of be more fluid, which has been great. I would just love to see it, you know.
I guess in my specific area, I'm not sure if there are any up and coming drag king artists. There have been a lot more drag queens, but definitely like representation now, like on media, like you said, with Landon Cider and with Tenderoni, even with Luca Me doing Coachella. Like, it's just great to see, especially when it comes to POC and Black and Indigenous people. It's good to have that representation as well.
Sidebar: if y'all aren't following Luca Me, how dare you?
Very that.
Follow
Yes.
Luke.
You're missing out on some amazing shit. They are chaotic. They are amazing. Go follow them.
Oh,
I miss
yes.
Luke's snap streams.
I know.
I haven't slept
Oh.
since.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, drag kings, like it's definitely growing. I just wish it would be like faster.
Yeah.
But
I'm still waiting
it's
for that
fun, I
explosive
promise.
moment.
Mhm.
I think it's even a victory that now you can ask a random person who's even somewhat into drag or watches Drag Race, and they're at least aware that like Landon Cider exists. Like
Yeah.
even if they
Oh,
can
yeah.
only name one, at least they can name one now. So it's like I feel like I keep saying this every year now, but I'm like, this is the year for drag kings. But honestly, I have seen more and more people be aware, more people take interest, and people at least know it's a thing. And that's the first step. The next step is getting more in a more mainstream presence. And, you know, I think most of it's just encouraging more people to do drag king in general, because I feel like there's like a lot of support and a lot of resources out there for people who want to get into drag and they want to do queen stuff. But it's about their like putting the foundation and the structure out for people to feel safe and comfortable and like want to come out and be a drag king too.
Speaking
Oh,
of
yeah.
foundation, it's basically like the same thing. They're all the same materials, just
Oh, yeah.
different like structuring. So you
Mhm.
it is there. Like all you have to do is just switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's the Taco Bell menu. It's the same ingredients. It's just structured different.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll teach you.
Yeah,
I'll
I
teach
mean,
you. I taught London, so
I'll happily walk somebody through it. I love seeing people get
Yeah.
into king face. When Kiyoshi did my face for our face swap, that was so much fun. I want more people to do it. And guess what? Kiyoshi's hooked now. Yeah, I see you, Kiyoshi, in the chat. You're about to be a drag king too.
Yes.
Also, it's just fun.
Yeah.
You're just playing
Right.
around
Oh,
with
yeah.
makeup, so like make it fun.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah, and
which
there's
is-
like so many different shapes that you could make, like even beard shapes. Like
Mhm.
there's so many different type of beards, like mine, you know, literally everybody in this chat, in this call, like has a different like beard shape
oh yeah.
or no
Mine's
beard at
clean shaven.
all.
Clean
Yeah.
shaven.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
still there.
And that's
Pushing.
okay too.
Or just
Yeah.
grow it
Yeah,
yourself.
I remember I was so like when I first started doing drag king makeup, I was always so obsessed with trying to get it to look perfect and like in my mind of what I think a man's beard is, or just like, and I like once I stopped thinking that way and just having fun and just like, you know, letting it go. I'm like, oh, this actually looks more like a man. Like they don't take care of their beard. It's actually more realistic than like
There you
this little
go.
room.
Hear that?
And I was like, it's more messy. Like drag is messy and it should be fun. You know, once it stops being fun, I'll stop doing it. You know.
Also, like the amount of like full on just go Hunger Games on that shit. Like your beard. Like come up with some weird like weird beard shapes. Like it's so fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love your bisexual lighting, Harming.
Oh, thank you. Do we have any questions from the audience, by the way? If anybody has any questions, go ahead and pose them. But I think even besides beards, I think the number one thing that really defines a drag king are the choice of eyebrows. I see everybody has a different eyebrow. Everybody's come on an eyebrow journey at some point,
Yep.
and I feel like they are very important.
Oh yeah, mine are very close to my actual brows. I just like darken them up and maybe like try to like arch them more a little bit. And that kind of helps with like my forehead contours.
Mhm.
Yeah. I remember when I was first learning how to do drag king makeup, I had someone who was teaching me who was, sorry, white. I'm brown. And so when I was trying to like, you know, do the typical drag king contouring, I kept getting so frustrated because I'm just like, my face is not like this. I'm Polynesian. I'm so super rounded. What am I doing? Like, I need to paint to be like a brown boy, not a white boy, I think is like so. Once I like unlocked that and like just learned to embrace my face and not just trying to like I like when people create like creature looks and like off the wall it's not like your actual face, but just trying to photocopy someone else's face doesn't work either. So it's just really, you know, it took a lot of time and just trying it over and over and over to get it right to like where I liked it. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why I said that. Yeah.
Like how I figured out my face was like a little bit. It's a process. Like I do this weird thing where I just like feel my bone structure. Like I feel like where the angles are, and then I just like keep a mental note on where those are, so I can like
We lost someone.
oh no,
Oh no.
bye Les.
It looks
yeah,
like Liz had a technical issue.
I guess Les didn't like my the way how I figured out my face.
How dare you tell your story?
But yeah, I just like I know it's weird feeling around your face, but I feel like it helps, like studying your bone structure.
Right, just looking into that mirror a lot and just like these are my eyelid shapes. These are my my bone shapes. You're like, what? It's just great. It's just yeah, you have to like almost do like a lot of self-reflection and self-love to like get there.
Apparently Lesbiana's power went out. Is what
Oh
happened.
no.
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 So it looks like we lost him for the rest of this panel. Oh no.
Oh no. This is Les erasure. They shredded Les's body.
Yes.
This is so rude.
Oh wait.
Oh.
Oh,
Hmm.
there we go.
Oh.
Yay!
Did it.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh no, everybody got shuffled around though. Everybody's in the wrong place.
No, it's
Oh,
fine.
we're down to the final.
I'm so sorry.
Final stretch. You're fine. Welcome back. I'll try to sort this out.
Everyone
really
just
fast.
repaint your face. Everyone repaint your face to match your name.
There you go.
It'll be fine.
Just impersonate Lesbiana.
Looks like we have a couple of questions too.
Oh, we got questions.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to read them to you?
I got them right here.
Okay.
We've got a question from Miss Kiki Powers. Hello. How can y'all get your contours, specifically the brows up part, even and line up right? You fail there every time when you try King's contours. I can tell you from experience, don't try to make it right. It comes with, like I find a lot of King makeup comes down to using a lot of like geometric angles, more like harsh, like straight geometry than blending and rounding. And being able to make things even just comes with like I literally, if anybody's watched me do my makeup, I literally take my contour stick and I'm like view 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 and it's just like you get a feel for it. It literally, like, before I was so lopsided. I'll look at old pictures and like everything is like unaligned, everything is messed up. But it literally just it comes with time, and it comes with experience, and you just got to be okay with being um the asymmetrical for a while before everything finally lines up for you. Okay, and everybody's back in their proper places.
Also, specifically for brows, do you guys block your brows? Because I find it's a lot easier if I block my brows so that like everything is evenly painted on.
No, I just
Sometimes
use
I
my
do.
actual brow.
Well, I shaved mine off. I just gave up on them. Wasn't
True.
worth it.
See, I
I
use my
wish I could
natural
shave
brow
mine
to
off.
map out where this brow goes. So I use like 3 different products for my brows. That's why I talked about brows specifically, because I'm like, I use more products on my brows than any other part of my face. So I don't block mine. That's my
I
favorite
use
part about King
Sharpie.
makeup, is that I don't block mine.
Not the Sharpie.
Not
I
that.
use Sharpie.
Oh my
like
God.
literally.
I mean, you know, sometimes it stays on, so
it
that
works.
makes
If it works,
sense.
it works.
Doesn't move.
Stream Queens Con does not condone using Sharpie on anywhere near your face or skin. Just saying.
If it's fine with Silky Nutmeg Ganache, it's fine with me.
Exactly.
Silky doesn't do it now either,
Exactly.
okay? Oh my God.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
It's an exaggeration, but I use eyeliner, so eyeliner and eyeshadow.
Yeah, I use like a eyebrow pomade.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like a little. Actually, I can probably I have it next to me. It's like this little
I have mine too.
thing, and it's pomade. Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, Nikki got
I
the
just
fancy stuff.
darkened
Mine's
mine up.
NYX.
Mine
Made my
Mine is
little
the same,
club.
but it's
I
faded.
do like NYX. Right.
That's what I use. Beauty girl. Ow.
Oh, yeah. I use that for my beard.
Yeah.
The big. It is pretty much a Sharpie.
Do we have any more
now
questions?
that you think about it.
I use a pomade. Then I use a brow pencil, like a really fine one, to give it detail. And then I take, it's essentially a Sharpie. It's a liquid brush tipped liner pen, and I go in, I really thicken it up and make it dark.
Sharpie's
they're
the way to go,
fancy.
y'all.
Yeah, just use liquid eyeliner and a prayer
There you
for the
go.
eyebrows and the little stash.
I know for Christmas this year, I was like, get me lots of black liquid liner. That's what I
Oh,
need.
yeah.
Like, just get me an Ulta gift card, please. Question is regarding the resources the panel was talking about earlier. If any of them have a specific tutorial that they created regarding their looks for us looking to get started. And that was from Cozy Game Bench. Does anybody have any actual recorded tutorials on YouTube or anything?
I do time lapses, but I don't make tutorials because nobody wants to use grease paint. Nobody wants to do their face like me.
Grease paint is
I
rough.
don't have a tutorial, but I do have a class coming up in January 20th. If you guys want to learn how to do the contour that I do, like for the whole chest, torso area. January 20th.
Okay.
Also,
Nice.
like I said earlier, feel your face.
Yeah.
Feel where your bones are, where they sink in, where the angles are.
Sounds
Right.
like we found a piece of the market we need to corner and put some tutorials out there.
It's true.
Oh,
But it's
yeah.
hard because everyone's face is different. Because when I was trying to follow
Yeah.
those tutorials online, it's like, okay, this doesn't work. I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm doing it all wrong, but
That's why you got to do it for the rest of the Polynesian cruise.
Okay,
Like,
sure.
you have to do it
That's
specifically.
right. Okay.
A lot of
Okay.
tutorials that I've
Yeah.
actually found are just like catered to the white face, and I'm like, I'm not white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Nope.
Or like, cause I have like Asian eyes because I'm Polynesian and like Chinese. So like, they're like cut crease. I'm like, cut where? I don't know.
Right.
I don't
Right. Hooded
know.
eyes, like.
The way I got around
Yeah.
that is that I do like e-boy makeup. So it's basically like just the lower waterline, and then just blend it in a little bit. I mixed it in with some K-pop makeup as well. Like I just
Right.
look at that and then just like blend it all together.
Yeah.
Oh. Cozy Gamage had another great question. I can't believe I didn't think about this already. I guess because we talk about it all the time anyways. But like, what are the stories behind how we picked our names? Names are such an important part of drag. I know I got my name. I've had this name for over 10 years, way before I started doing drag. Prince Harmon came about when I was doing roller derby, and I had to come up with a roller derby name. And so like I sat there and I thought about it forever. I settled on Prince Harming. Another one I was thinking about was Fleetwood Smack. That one didn't quite make the
Yeah.
cut.
Oh my gosh.
Hey.
But that one was close.
Good
So I
one.
could have been Fleetwood Smack sitting here, but no. Prince Harming was made during that, and I just started using it as like an online username, especially when I was first starting to stream like 10 years ago. I didn't stream for the entire time, but I did start streaming back 10 years ago. It settled and it's always stuck. When I started doing drag, I was like, it still fits. I still like it. How did y'all get your names?
Well, for me, I just wanted it to look like a normal name, like as normal as it could be on paper. So as soon as I like signed up to something, as soon as someone said it out loud, that's when everyone realizes it's not a good name.
Yeah.
One of those like prank names on the roster when your sub gets in there.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Yes.
Very Bart Simpson energy.
I came up with my name. So I'm a little bit dyslexic, and so my actual name's Kim. And just so in real life, when I would write my name down, I sometimes would see it as MIK. And then so I'm like, that's it. It's Mick. That's my drag name. And then when I was a baby gay, I used to drink lots of like Jaeger bombs.
Oh.
And so I don't drink
Oh.
them anymore. I learned my lesson. But I was like, it's part of my past and like my learning, and so I'm making it my drag name. My last name, my surname in drag. I don't know. Whatever.
I thought it was a play on Mick Jagger.
No, well, like kind of, but not.
Well, for me, I love pun names and I love video games, and the most punny of the controller is a joystick. So it would be weird if I called myself like X Button. So
I'm left trigger.
Those are the names of your children, your future kids.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, talk about some of your
Oh,
children, Joy.
Talk about children.
oh, right. I named one of my I put one of my best friends in drag for the first time, and I named them Mozzarella Stick.
Yeah.
I mean,
You won. You win.
And Deer came up with Analog Stick, so there you go.
Oh.
Hey.
Mine is same thing, like kind of a play on words, but then kind of like, since I identify as Latinx, like it's pretty much the Spanish word for lesbian. And since I am doing more of like a drag king, more masculine makeup, I considered myself a bae. So I was like, oh, that fits actually perfectly, like lesbiana. Like, there you go.
Oh yeah.
I mean, for me, I like to say that chaos is all I've ever known. Long story. And then Julian was the name I eventually picked for myself after coming out. So I just use that name all the time.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Love it.
Uh-oh, I lost my questions. There it is. Okay. Okay. So the Saint Sako says, favorite drag kings to follow. Who are some of your favorite kings on the internet that you follow?
Hercules, obviously. Land Insider, another obs. I follow myself, so you guys should follow me
There
too.
you go.
Yeah.
Yes,
Follow
please follow
everyone in
everybody
this
on this
call right now.
panel.
Yes.
And each and every one of you guys.
Aww.
Aw. Someone I'm following is Percasex.
Percasex, yes.
Percasex. I
Oh,
love
yeah,
them. They're pink.
Percocets.
Like, I've like watched their face. I'm just like, wow, like that's so different from any king thing I've ever seen. I love that, but I don't want to like copy it. But I love it. I appreciate it, and they're just killing it. So, yeah.
I have a couple. So it's like Land Insider, Androgen. There's this one called their name is Clit Eastwood.
Oh, yes.
yes.
Yes,
Really?
yes.
Clit Eastwood's great.
Yeah, Tito Soto. Follow them; they're amazing. Their digital drag show numbers are like amazing, and they're just an amazing performer. Everyone in this call, Luca Me,
Yes.
Yeah.
go follow again. Follow Luca Me. I am
Do it.
like officially the Luca Me Stan account. Thank you. I think I'm missing a couple. I'll get back to you.
But follow us and then you'll see
follow
them
us
and follow
first.
them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Like I was saying earlier, Ricky Rose, Magic Dyke,
Mhm.
Oh yes,
Who
yes.
else?
That's one I forgot.
Molasses. I'm trying to think of who else. You've all named pretty
If you
much.
follow the Kingdom of Drag on Instagram, there's a lot of drag people on
Yeah.
there. The Kingdom of
Yeah.
Drag.
Can I also add a couple more?
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead. Plug.
Gay Jesus at Their Holiness on Instagram. Fucking fantastic. And Cyril Cinder, Canadian King, also a registered psychotherapist.
Wow. Okay.
Someone I follow is his name is Eddie Alabaster. He's actually in my local scene, and I have met him, but I can tell he's also inspired by Androgen. He's got a good face.
Does.
I'm gonna cut a couple more. Manny
Okay.
Bingo, Craven Blood, Zaki Lime, Alexander Brandy. Just like there's so many that just keep popping into my head. I don't want to take up more time.
Very good.
I think there's Adam All from England. There's a bunch. There's a lot. Try to follow everyone from everywhere.
Yeah. Follow the rabbit hole. See who you like, who they follow, who they're retweeting. Because I got there's dandy issues over in the UK who I invited onto this panel, but I realized they're in the UK, and this
True.
is not a good time for them.
Right.
And I felt real dumb, as we learned about me in time earlier when I came to this panel, an hour early, ready to go. Of course,
I feel like that is with most kings, though. We're
Oh, yeah.
early. We get stuff
just
done.
drag in general. Everybody's off like on the wrong time. We're on drag time, which is very different. King J Crimson, who is also in Stream Queens, follow them. They're fantastic. We got Travis Fierro. I follow them on Twitter. They're great. I still have a Land Insider DM where Landon actually responded to me like 4 years ago. It was nothing big. It was just like a, yeah, great, thanks response. But I was like, I keep it archived there because I'm like, Landon,
Let me
talk
just
to
pick up
me.
that name you just dropped.
I'm close personal friend. No. But yeah, the short story is there are so many kings to follow on the internet. Like, it's just about finding us because it takes a little bit more searching, but we're there. And we want your
Mhm.
attention. Please. Give us those likes.
That's true.
All right. So now we're reaching the end of our time here on the panel. So we're gonna wrap it up and we're gonna give our final send off. So I'm gonna go around and I want everybody to repeat who you are, plug all your social medias. Where can we find you? Once again, I'm Prince Harming, and you can find me here at Prince_Harming on Twitch. That's where you're gonna find me the most. I'm Prince_Harming on Instagram, Prince Harming TV on Twitter. Please follow me. All right, Krem, where can we find you?
My name is Creme If You Fancy, Cream If You Nasty, Inakuchi, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at KREMEINAKUCHI.
And
Who's
Les,
next?
where can we find you?
Oh, me. You can find me here on Twitch at Lesbiana with 2 N's, not one, with 2 N's. Pretty much same thing on all social media, Twitter, Instagram. Yeah, pretty much. You can also see me slamming down the band hammer and a lot of other Stream Queen channels. So yeah.
Joy, where can we find you?
I'm Joystick, Twitch's resident drag monarch, is the king and the queen, radiating Bimbo energy wherever I go. You can find me on TikTok and Joystick. Or I have my own website. No, I'm kidding. Twitter and TikTok at Joystick, Instagram at the Joystick, and Twitch at Joy_stick. I also started a new my YouTube channel, so I am like 9 subscribers away from 100, so I can customize that like my little link. So go subscribe to my YouTube channel where I post like edited versions of my streams.
Word.
Sweet.
Oh, Julian, where can we find you?
I'm Mr. Julian Chaotic on most social media, mostly Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. Or if you're in the Pittsburgh area, I perform live as much as possible.
All right, and Mick, bringing up the rear, where can we find you?
Yeah, so I'm Mick Yeager, Polynesian drag queen or king, oh my gosh, of Utah. My Instagram is MIK_JAGER_69 on Instagram and TikTok. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, once again, thank y'all so much for being on my panel. This has been an absolutely fantastic time. I've loved talking to all of you. And I forgot what my closing remark was going to be, other than everybody in the audience needs to be following Drag Kings. If you can't name more than one, then I'm taking you off my MySpace top 8. And that's going to be it.
Buy the Stream Queens Con merch.
Yeah, buy the merch, donate to the charity.
Buy everyone's merch. I don't have any, but buy it.